This is Just AMZN on Thursday, November 1st, 2018. Brand new month, and it looks like we're going to move up a little bit more with the pre-market here coming in really close to being at or slightly possibly above yesterday's high, but at the actual open, it got a little bit under, so we didn't quite get above. And my first thought was, okay, we are up. Maybe we will engulf and move back down. And pretty quickly here at the open. So I'm going to zoom in because it's hard to see with it being so large here. So pull back really close to our 1617 price in here. Then get a bullish engulfing candle, and then these two with highs that were the same. Looked like, okay, we're going to come back down a little bit more. And that's what we did. Came really quickly down into our 1607 price and bounced, and then came down again through this really large lower wick hammer type candle in right at 1607, and proceed to go up again and then go sideways and then break out and stay below this low and then pull back. Just like this had really similar highs here. This was a tweezer top. These two looked like a tweezer bottom right off of our 1607 line. And they were at 1607.12 and 1607.18. So 6 cents apart. But essentially at this price, you know, they're tweezer bottoms. So I've got a line drawn in here. I'll show you what that means soon. But we got a squeeze forming. And we're holding in the upper half of these four candles. I mean, we got really into the halfway point here. And looks like we've been playing up in the upper range and even looking like we'll break out. And we need to do something really significant to get into the lower half, even to get below 1607. That's been a really strong level here. Just like yesterday, we danced around in that, consolidated on it, ultimately broke down. There were people that were shorting looking for the rollover. Today, people are buying off that level. I mean, there are still some trying to short off of it, but more people are buying, and that's where we're staying up. So we stayed up around our 1617, was it 1617.54 price, and this was a really nice consolidation here. You know, if you drew this similar kind of angle on the down, on the highs at a down angle, it's looking like it's consolidating right here. Have a nice stair step with these four candles, kind of 5 candles here, but these where we're getting some lower highs, some relative lows, and still having that squeeze form, and then we break out. And not only do we break out, but we break out, retest again, and retest again into this line again. So now if you want to draw lower highs, you got to kind of connect these at this angle instead of a sharper down angle. And all the while, the lower, or the uptrend line is kind of holding the lows. Now we're at a new high over here, and we're at a relative high here now. And we're just continuing up. The squeeze is fired. Here's your retest. I do like that indecision candle right there. It just couldn't get anything going to the downside. And you're breaking out. And so we broke out, chopped around, moved all the way back up into, where did we consolidate? 1665.27. I mean, these couple of candles right here, right at the high. I thought this is going to make a double top. It's going to roll down just like we did. Where was that? In here. Yeah, where we broke down. You know, we kind of multi-topped here and then broke down. I thought, well, it could do a double top into that, but it didn't. And then it just kind of grinded back into the 21 and bounced. So if we zoom in on the day, so obviously we didn't have a bearish engulfing, but we had a really nice move higher today. Tweezers here, nice hammer here, and this line. So I'm going to show you this line first on the puts because I drew it in kind of a similar, I drew the same price, not prices, sorry, same times, 909 and 1233 that I drew it in the other one. And oops, sorry. Clicking too quickly. 1233, 909. and tried to stay close to the prices here, and then just to show where that candle would have ended up, more or less connecting these. Then for the put, we stayed below all the way till we got to there. Sorry, that's not that mute button again. All right, so that's the puts. The puts just kind of lost value. This was that stair step near the high. We were right at the relative high on the stock, but right at the relative low on this put. And we had a really nice move on the put. But right here, when we had that tweezer bottom, we just sunk. And we never really steadied out. Just like the stock was kind of going sideways and chopping around a little bit. Never really got that on the puts. We just kind of broke down and broke down again and broke down again and broke down again. And that's what this line I wanted to show here. So take that back out, and we'll come back over to this consolidation. It had this upward slant to it, and you see that slightly upward, but mostly sideways slant to the calls. And so the calls are matching up better with what the stock is actually doing. And we're forming this squeeze. And we haven't really lost as much of the premium. So from this high to this high, it's only a gap of maybe a couple dollars. And in here, we get a gap of around $2. And then in the put, we dropped quite a bit from where this was up here, being around 22, to this down here around 16. Much larger drop on the put premium. And granted, we're at 1600 here, and we're at, wait, did I say that wrong? What was I going to say? 1630, 1625, 28. So that's, looking at the puts, we're, $30 out of the money. When we're looking here, from here and here, we're $30 out of the money. So it makes sense we'd lose quite a bit of premium. But then for the calls, we're down here at 1600, and then right here at 1607, and we're looking at the 1650 calls, but we stayed steady. I mean, there should have been a lot more premium lost had we, we only moved only a few dollars, like $7 closer to in the money. We're still a huge distance away, and we've got very little movement in the premium of the call. To me, that's saying the market maker are keeping the premium in there, knowing that, maybe not knowing, but more speculatively saying you're going to, kind of go steadier or go up a little bit, flat to up on the day. And so there were a lot of opportunities to buy in here. These two lows were 5 cents apart. This was the tweezer bottom at 1607. Not that you would have been buying that low, but the range on this was 150. Possibly you could have been buying like 550 by 450, which wouldn't have worked on these candles. Well, I mean, it would have had you been buying on this one, but would have had another opportunity to buy all throughout this at 550, or even buying at 6 by 5 anytime over here as it's pulling back. As it's pulling back into the 21 through here. So the last time to do that was really at 10:55, 11, or 11:15, 11:20. So you could have bought at 6 on the option, the stop at 5, probably somewhere down in here, or maybe, probably down in here. And that just took off. That moved all the way up to our next line in the money even. And so that would have been buying at 6, stop at 5, and a move all the way into the next line, which would have been probably up here like 27. So let's say 27, and you bought at 6 with a stop at 5. That's a 21R move. Maybe you got a little scared, you tighten up your stop, and you got trailed out up here. Maybe you got trailed out at 16. that's still a 10-hour move. So yeah, that's the kind of day we had today. Didn't sell off. Didn't really look very bearish. This was 4 bearish candles in a row, the most we had here and here, compared to even yesterday. Yeah, we only had three here, couldn't really get, and 3 here. Couldn't really get much selling going on for any length of time. Prior to that, quite a few. Well, no, that's only 4, and then I think 5 here. Yeah. So, we had a lot more directional buying today, obviously, with this than we had any sort of directional selling. Like we had come out of, like this day was really, really bad. All of these bearish candles in a row were going lower, and then starting to see those even out this day with 5 here, but really couldn't get it going. So that starts to show you, okay, we're going to consolidate a little bit, and then this, we're starting to move up a little bit, and then this, we're moving up some more. So now we're at a really key level. You see where we were. Let me see if I can move this back a little faster. There you go. See where we're back here, consolidating this range. We just tore up through that range today. Looks like something has pulled this down after hours. And so, this around here looks like an inverted head and shoulders. We could still just consolidate in this range for a little longer. Maybe do a little bit of a distribution up here, and I say up here because it's had this however much percent move. I didn't do the calculation today to see where we're at. What was the high today? Look at that. That's such a nice candle right into this level. The close today was 1665.53. Our line is 1665.27. It's so close. That's crazy how close that is. All right, I'm going to pull up the calculator if it's going to let me. I'm not sure what this is going to show on the video because I think I'm just sharing the Thinkorswim platform. All right, the high here was 1670.45, and the low that we put in a couple days ago was 1476.36, and that's a 13 and change. So 13.15% move. So not as solid as a 10 or 9.99 that we saw yesterday, but still obviously moving up. And so it really could continue. This is a really strong level. It has been a strong level, what we came into here. We've now retested back to that low. It was a really strong level here to hold. And it came from the, I think, close, 1665.27. So the closing price of the candle on June 4th is what was used. And it's been a relative value. Going back to June. It's pretty cool. So we've retested. We've actually closed above this candle. And I think I remember talking about that up here. When we got above this pivot, I had that feeling like it shouldn't really be up here. Something's not right. It shouldn't have made that kind of rally so quickly. And that's where there were extra bulls piling on bullish, and extra bears getting stopped out of their positions. And it just feels like that could be happening right here. We've had a really monster move up, really strong move up in 3 days. And we've gone so low, so far down so quickly. It makes sense that it's going to try and rebound so quickly. But should it be up here? I don't know. I don't want to say it can't get to 1700 tomorrow or in the next couple of days, can't touch the 21. It just still feels like it shouldn't quite be up here. So it'll be really interesting to see how this pullback, right now it looks like a pullback, looks like it could roll down a little bit more. I mean, this looks like a double top here and a retest and some kind of wicks that retested. But, it looks like it broke down, retested that neckline right here, and then it's rolling over again. And so it'll be really interesting to watch tomorrow and see if there's some really good entries on a line here, see if we can do something to consolidate and then look for a squeeze and a breakout. And this could be something that it's just going to suck a bunch of directional traders in the morning, wipe out the premium, and then have a little bit of a bigger move into the afternoon. But still, maybe not something huge after having such a strong rally here. I mean, if we end up with another indecision candle like this, touching these two lines again, just like we had this one in between this line and this line, or slightly, could start out here, go up, go down, come back up, or go down, go up, come back down. So look for entries that are really close to these lines, but maybe not those exactly. Look for key candles at key points that are, small candles that could be uh, suggesting there could be a reversal, that it's something that's consolidated or it's moved in direction as much as it's going to. But we're just speculating here, so uh, we'll continue to watch and see what happens. And hope you enjoyed this video. This is just Amazon. Thanks.